All right. So, my name is Cassie Rainey. I know that I know most of you, but I joined Plexus. I guess it was almost 9 months ago. It's been about 8.5 months. And when I started, I saw some of the videos about financial freedom, and I knew the products. I believed in the products before I even took them because I understood a lot about gut health, blood sugar regulation, and that kind of stuff. So I believed in the products because I knew the ingredients and I knew the value in them. And what I didn't believe in was myself. I did not believe in, I didn't have confidence in myself. I did not believe that I was a leader. I saw the vision of what could be, but honestly, I really struggled with that internal belief. I began developing myself and pouring into myself and reading a lot of leadership books and watching a lot of videos and spending a lot of time learning about what my strengths are and what my weaknesses are. Honestly, I had never done that. I have always focused on other people, and I've never focused on myself. And so when I got into this, I realized that was my weakness. I had to work on me. I believed in these products, I believed in this company, but I did not believe in myself. So I want to talk a little bit about that. I see so often in this business that we are looking side to side. We're looking at other people's journeys. We're looking at how fast somebody promotes. We're looking at ranks as a measure of success. And I want to caution you against that, because as soon as you start looking to the left and to the right, you lose focus of your journey. You lose focus of your end goal. And you start getting distracted. You start losing confidence in yourself. And before you know it, you're completely on another path. And so I really want to focus you in on your own personal journey. You're going to see people that are going to fly right past you in rates. People are going to start and 5 months later be an emerald. It happens. And there's going to be people who fast start gold. They go gold in 30 days. There's a girl that just went diamond in 12 months. And there's going to be out of the ordinary, amazing accomplishments. And I want us to cheer those people on. And I hope that that is your journey, honestly. I would love for that to be your journey. But being realistic, most of us are not going to have journeys like that. Some of us may get stuck at a specific place in our business for some reason. So I want to encourage you not to look to the left and to the right. Okay? It's not about rank. That is not what makes a leader. I firmly believe that. It is. I do not look at people and leadership skills based on their rank. And I want to be very clear about that. I want you to have confidence with exactly where you are at. Okay? We have all started somewhere, and all of us come in with different areas that we need to grow in. And a little bit about myself, I came in with absolutely no confidence in myself as a leader. And I was forced fairly quickly with a growing team. I got people randomly on my team that were rock stars. And that forced me into a leadership position that I was not wanting necessarily. Sure, I wanted to advance in this company, but the leadership aspect scared me to death. And so that is when I started having to really pour into myself and to grow as a leader. So some people are going to be going on a slower pace because they need that time to really focus on specific areas of their growth. So never discount your journey, okay? I'm going to share a little bit about the why. We talk about that a lot. What is your why in this company? John Maxwell says that the two most important days in your life is the day that you were born and the day that you find out why. And I firmly believe you have to have a deep-seated why. Why are you doing this? Why are you sharing these products? I believe you have to get down, kind of peel those layers, get down to what in this life gives you the most fulfillment. What can you see yourself doing if there was no limits? And I want you to really hold on to that, because in this journey, on this Plexus journey, you're going to have obstacles, and you're going to have times when when you just feel defeated, and the only thing that is going to keep you going is that why. And it's going to change over time. My why in the beginning, and a lot of it still is finances. For our family, this is an answer to prayer for our family. My husband works 2 full-time jobs, and we are trying to get out of, we've got quite a bit of medical debt from one of my children, and we've had 2 adoptions that are about $35,000 each in the last 2 years. So our financial future has drastically changed because of Plexus. And so for me, I look at, my husband's going to get to quit his second job very soon. That is my why right now. A future why is so that we can give back and give back generously. We've been given to so generously with adoption fundraising that we want to do that. So there's a lot of things. You just really need to dig in deep and find that, because as we're talking about these goals, the next 3 months, all of us are going to have those times where we just are exhausted and don't want to do it. We don't want to work hard. We don't want to do what it takes to reach those goals. All of us are. Every job that you ever have is gonna have that. And so we've got to get down to your why. And so if you do not have that written out, I am going to ask, that's going to be one of your assignments, your homework, is to do that. And I would love if you even made a video talking about it. It's one of the first things that I did when I got in Plexus, was actually sharing a video on my Facebook why I'm doing Plexus. It might be for health benefits. It might be for financial freedom. It might be, because you just want to share these products with others. Whatever that is, I encourage you to figure that out and to share that. I went so far, and I know several of you guys have made a dream board. And that is just a visual representation of your why, so that you can see it daily. When we're setting goals, a lot of times we try to figure out how to do it, how we're going to get to the end before we commit to the end. And so I'm going to ask that we switch that around tonight, and that we're actually going to commit to the end goal first. Then we're going to figure out how we're going to get there. Okay, a lot of us get into this and think, well, I'll try it out, see how it goes. If I get silver, that's great. But there's no commitment to the end goal, whatever that may be for you. And so I'm going to ask that you guys really focus in and commit to the end, whatever that may be. If that's for you, for you, that's gold. If you look at the income and you say, that's what I need right now. I need gold. Maybe it's ruby, maybe it's emerald, or maybe you have a long-term vision for diamond. Commit to that, and let's do step-by-step how we're going to get there, okay? And the reason I say that is there is nothing more powerful than somebody whose soul is on fire. They know their why. They know where they're going. They might not know how they're getting there yet, but they know that they're getting there. And their soul is on fire. It's those people that have passion and drive. Those are the people that are unstoppable, okay? They don't have to know all the answers. They don't have to know exactly how they're getting there. So I am saying to just let go of the how right now and to build the passion and the belief inside yourself. You know, I talked a little bit about my own personal journey. I had to look inward a lot, and I still do. And I believe that the journey within Plexus is so much more inward focused than anything else. I don't think that you can get to the top of this company being the same person that you came in, started this company with. And it takes a lot of self-development and growth to blossom into the leader that we all need to be for our teams. And not to say a lot of us don't come in with amazing skills, but there has to be leadership development and growth within you as a person. And so just knowing that your belief, your passion, that is what's going to make you successful. It's not going to be a step-by-step, how do I get to diamond in this company? It's going to be building that belief and that passion and that fire so that you're going to figure out a way to get there. And we're all going to work together. We're going to brainstorm together how to do that. But it's that initial passion that is going to get you to the top. Okay. Part of what that is. Sorry, I have notes that I wrote. I've made my husband proud that I actually made notes. Part of that inward focus is your self-image and your confidence. I wrote down that you'll never, ever outperform your self-image. Okay, so that is key, guys. You know, we have all been in different jobs. We've all been in different leadership areas. Some of us have been stay-at-home moms for a long time. Some of us have had full-time jobs where we have led quite a few people. But whatever that looks like, we all struggle with self-image, all of us. And that's why I'm saying don't look to the left or the right. Don't try to keep up with other people in this business. You keep your eyes focused on where you're going. But I want you to know that the value that you put on yourself is the value that other people are going to put on you. Okay? John Maxwell, he's an incredible author, and some of you may have read some of his books, but he says, if you place a small value on yourself, rest assured that the world will not raise the price. And y'all, this is so, so true. If you believe in yourself, if you believe that you have something that you can share and that people want and that you are valuable, that what you have to say is valuable, people are going to listen. Okay, so I want you to find that self-confidence in who you are and who you were created to be. Find that self-confidence. And that's why it all boils down to belief. And this is so much more beyond Plexus. Okay, this is so much about who we are, who we were created to be, and really taking hold of that. Okay, take pride in yourself and realize that you are worthy of this and that you have something to share. Okay, and I really want that. I really want you guys to grasp that. You may not struggle with that. You may have you may be very grounded in that. But I have seen so many people come into network marketing and immediately fall to pieces because their confidence in themselves was shaken when they first got rejected. This business, you're going to have people reject and turn you down and tell you no. And if that confidence is not there, and and your self-image is poor, you will be shaken to the core. And so I just want to really emphasize that we have to take time and grow as a person, and to realize that what we have to share is valuable. And other people might not catch on, and that's okay. But if you believe it, there's nothing that's going to stop you. And a little bit more talking about action. Okay, our action, what we do on a daily basis, is what is going to create motivation. So in the beginning, you may feel like, oh, I really don't want to do this. I'm posting every single day, but nobody's liking any of my posts. I'm not getting any bites, basically. I'm putting it out there, but nobody's listening. And whenever you stop that action, that daily grind, okay, those we call them income producing activities. Whenever you stop doing that, and say you take a break for a couple days, you don't post regularly, you're going to see your motivation just kind of start to wither, and you're going to see that you're personally probably going to start losing a little bit of belief in yourself. And you might think, well, why did it work for other people and it didn't work for me? And you may start to really lose belief about the way that you're presenting it. And so I'm gonna challenge you to remove your emotions from the action. I want you to daily do this. I want you to daily do your income producing activities, which is posting on Facebook. Okay, I have told all of you guys that you are welcome to take anything that I post. You're welcome. Any of our ambassadors on our team, I know, feel that way. I think I can pretty much speak for most of Plexus. We all share each other's posts. And we do that so that we can support one another. So doing that daily, even if you feel like no one is listening, because it creates motivation, and it creates, it really creates momentum. It may take a month of doing that daily before you get your first bite, but that's okay. People are still watching, okay? So I want you just to remove emotion and remove any personal, confidence issues with that. Your belief cannot be shaken by how many people reach out to you or like your Facebook comment, your Facebook post, okay? Just remove that and do it, because that doing it daily is what is going to get your momentum going and create more belief in yourself. And let's see, the last thing I want to end with is talking a little bit about the fear of failure. And I see the fear of failure comes out in a lot of different ways. Some of us are so afraid of rejection. Okay, some of us cannot stand to hear the word no, and we are afraid to be rejected from our family. If our family thinks we've lost our mind about this Plexus stuff, which some of them think, my family has definitely thought that. That brings up a lot of deep-seated things in a lot of people, things that may have happened earlier on in life and have never really been dealt with. So Plexus can bring up quite a bit of baggage that we have to begin dealing with. So fear of rejection is huge in this business. Fear of success, that's one that kind of sounds funny, but it's true. There are people that fear being successful. And I did not realize that's exactly where I was. I was afraid to be successful because I did not want to be a leader. I didn't want to have the responsibility, and I did not think that I had anything to offer people. And so I was afraid what that would look like. Fear of sacrifice. What am I going to have to give up if I do this? There is time sacrifice. And I can tell you that there is sacrifice, a short amount of sacrifice for a long-term freedom. But there is sacrifice. And so there's things that we all fear. And each one of us could probably quickly name what our top fear is. But I want to talk a little bit, I put on our Facebook team page today about a new book study that we're going to go through. Some of you have read the book before. It is called Failing Forward, and it was life-changing for me. It honestly was the book that took me from being a timid follower to stepping out of my fear, because in all honesty, my husband and I, we have tried a lot of different things. We've always been those people who are very entrepreneurial. I can't ever say that word correctly, but we have tried a lot of things, and we've done a lot. And in the world's eyes, we have failed a lot. And that book was life-changing for me, because I was able to take off the label of failure and start seeing that all of that was setting me up for where I am now. And getting through overcoming and relabeling that failure in my past has set me up beautifully for this time when I'm not afraid to fail anymore, because I can see my failures as simply learning opportunities. Because I can tell you there's going to be times in my Plexus business, and there have been times that I've tried things and they haven't worked. There are times when I've not met my goals, but they are simply just that next step of, as I'm learning, I'm just simply taking a step forward. Sometimes I might take a couple steps backwards, but I'm still on my journey. I'm not failing, I'm learning. And one of the visuals that really stuck with me, Sonia Dudley shared this visual about a little girl learning to ride her bicycle. She, at first, she starts off with training wheels and needs that support. She can't do it on her own, so she starts off with these training wheels. She's riding, and then one day she's like, you know what, I actually want to try to do this. She takes that fear, knowing that she's probably going to fall down, knowing that it's going to hurt, but she takes that fear and chooses to do it anyways, okay? She's going to have her parents, riding along or standing alongside of her, kind of helping her balance for a little while. She's going to fall down off that bike. She's going to get bruised. She's going to get cut and scraped. She's going to get back up. Now, we don't say to her, oh, well, you fell down, you failed. No, it's an expected process. It's an expected succession on learning how to ride independently. So in our Plexus business, we are going to need support. We're going to need those training wheels. We're going to need somebody kind of helping us balance for a little while. We're going to fall off of our bike. We're going to get bruised. We're going to get scrapes. But we're going to get to the point where we are riding independently. We can have the wind blowing through our hair, the freedom of knowing we are doing this. And I just want to encourage you that we're turning it around in your mind, not being afraid to fall, taking big risks, okay? I think so often we sit and we kind of think, oh, maybe I could make that rank by a certain time. But we don't push ourselves because we don't want to fail. We fear that. We fear what it'll look like to other people. We fear letting ourselves down. So we tend to kind of put those training wheels back on and just be happy just riding our bike with our training wheels. And I want you to take them off, and I want you to dream big, even if that means totally, falling and getting hurt. because you're going to get back up. And you have the support of a team. So I want you to dream big. I want you to look at what I have this deep why in my heart. I want this, and I'm going to commit to the end, and I'm going to figure out how to get there. Okay? So that's kind of a little bit about what we're going to do. We're going to talk tonight a little bit about the next 3 months of our business. And I want you guys to dream big, and I want you to realize it's okay. We're going to make these goals. We're going to make this plan. It's okay if we don't hit it, okay? If we do not write them down and if we do not plan ahead, there's absolutely no way we're going to hit them anyways. So we're going to write them down. We're going to strategize. And writing them down, they say that 42%, it's 42% more effective to write your goals down. And so it's one of the things. I've never been someone who plans or strategizes in anything. I'm not very organized. But I have realized that it is imperative to do that. Because if you don't know where you're going, you're absolutely not going to get there. So we've got to plan where we're going first, and then we're going to go backwards and say, okay, so we know where we're going. Now how do we get there? So I'm going to unmute you, and let's see, maybe if I can figure that out. Manage participants. Okay, unmute you. And some of you, if you have a really loud, that was Kelly. Sorry, Kelly. You're loud. I don't know. My kids are all, I closed myself in my room. So what I'm going to have you do is, some of you may have done this exercise a little bit with us earlier, but what we're going to do is we're going to look at the next 3 months, and we're going to plan what rank you want to be at the end of July 31st, what rank you want to be. Now, if you have questions on points and what points you need for what rank, let me know. I've got those all written down. But right now, that basically gives us 3 full months to promote. And the way that Plexus works is you are doing the work this month for the rank that you want at the end of June. Does that make sense? Right? Am I right? If this is May? Okay. So what we are doing now, the ambassadors that we're adding this month, is what will give you points for the end of June. So if you want to promote, say to silver in June, you're going to want to add 3 ambassadors. You could promote easily to silver in 1 month. So if you want to add, you want to go to gold in the end of June, that means gold is, let's see, 100 points. So if you don't understand the point scale, your first 3 levels, so you sponsor one person, they sponsor somebody that's your level 2, and then they sponsor somebody that's your level 3. The first 3 levels are all going to be worth 5 points. And that's probably what you're going to be looking at mostly. Some of you probably have levels 4, 5, 6, and 7. But basically, when you're looking at your points, you're going to know that each ambassador roughly is going to count for about 5 points if they're in your first 3 levels. As your team gets bigger, you're going to look at probably, I do an average of like maybe 4 points a person. And then as your team gets even bigger, it goes down less and less because you have more levels. So if I want you guys to go ahead and write out on your piece of paper just the month of May, okay? I want you to write down what rank you are currently, and if you know how many ambassadors you have on your team. So I want you to write those down, and if you need to log on to your back office or do that, kind of important to know how many ambassadors you have right now so that we can do the math. So you're going to have a page or a spot for May, June, and July. I want you each right now to think about at the end of July what rank you want to be. Okay? So silver is 3 ambassadors. Gold then moves into points. Gold is 100 points, which is roughly 20 ambassadors that are all qualified. Senior gold is going to be 250 points. And ruby is 500 points. Senior ruby is 750 points. So go ahead and plan by July 31st what rank you want to be. Then we are going to look at, that means the month of May and the month of June are your 2 building months for that rank. Because anything that you do in May and June will give you points at the end of July. You can get new ambassadors, but remember, new ambassadors really don't give you points unless they order 100 PV over their welcome pack that month. You don't get points for new ambassadors unless they order 100 over. So when we're calculating this, remembering that what rank you want to get at the end of July is going to be the work that you put in May and in June. So let's see. So you've got down the rank that you're starting with and then the number of ambassadors that you have right now. So in order to get to the rank, it's kind of hard to do this with a bunch of individuals because I can't, like, if you want to like spout off like what your goal is, we can work through numbers and all of that. And we can do that in a minute. But if your goal is to get to gold by July 31st, that is 100 points. So you need to look at how many ambassadors you have right now, how many you need to get to 100 points. So if that means, you know, you're not going to have all 20 ambassadors usually getting points for them. You'll probably have a few that don't order that month. So I always say go a little bit above, probably 25 ambassadors, just to kind of give you some cushion. So 25 ambassadors by the end of, so this is just a scenario, if this is you. 25 ambassadors by the end of July 31st. So that means you need to look at how many ambassadors you have right now and take that away, deduct that from 25. Then you're going to take, so say you have 5 people on your team right now. Just make it easy. So you need 20 ambassadors in the month of May and June in order to rank up to gold in the end of July. So I would personally break that up into 10 ambassadors for the month of May and 10 ambassadors for the month of June. Knowing that if you get maybe 8 this month, the next month you'll need 12. So however that evens out. And I want to encourage you that it's not always about you personally adding that number. A lot of times to get to gold, it is heavy work on your own. A lot of times it's you adding the majority of them. But you may have somebody who sponsors a couple people. So that helps you. That's adding in those numbers. So I'm saying as a team, whoever's on your team, you're adding 10 ambassadors this month, okay? So write that down write down what your goal is for how many ambassadors you need to add for the month of May and for the month of June to get to your rank promotion at the end of July. Does that make sense? Am I losing like everybody? Because this is very hard to actually like say. Okay, so basically, so if I'm using this scenario of going gold at the end of July, I have 5 ambassadors now. I know that I need to add 10 in May and 10 in June. Then I'm going to look at, okay, I need to now break this up because 10 is kind of overwhelming, right? 10 is overwhelming. So I need to break this up into weeks. So the first week, I need to focus this week on getting 2 ambassadors, okay? And maybe 3. 3 would be great. But let's work on 2 ambassadors this week. How do I get 2 ambassadors? How do I encourage, how do I pour into my 5 ambassadors that I already have and help them get an ambassador? So those 10, remember, don't have to come from you. So you're going to be reaching out, but you're also going to be pouring in to the people that you have right now. And if you don't have anyone on your team, that's okay. You're just going to be reaching out, reaching out, reaching out. So break this up, break up your number into weeks. The end of the month usually is an explosion for all of our teams because that's when we are like, oh, we've got to do this, we got to work hard, and we start just really sponsoring. A lot of times people wait till the end of the month. So knowing that I need 2 this week, I need 2 next week, maybe 2 the 3rd week, and then I'm going to go for 3 or 4 that last week. So writing that down, doing weekly your goals. And then what I want you to do, we're going to talk a little bit about how we're going to accomplish those goals. Okay. We have all talked a little bit about IPA, what that looks like, posting on Facebook daily, having our list that we continually are working through, our list where we've got names of those people that a lot of times if you just circle your top 10 or top 20 people that you know need these products or you know that would rock this business, going after those people. And like I said, like it all comes down to the belief in yourself. If you approach people with confidence and with belief, knowing that you have something that people need, they're going to listen. They might not immediately jump on, but they're going to listen. And they're going to start watching you. They're going to start watching your posts more and more and more. And I think it's something like 48% of sales are made on the 6th and 7th time that you're contacting them. So following up with people is essential, okay? So you're going to be posting daily, reaching out to people, and following up with people. And honestly, this business, I never want you to feel or get in the mindset that we're pushing products on people, because that's when you're gonna crash and burn. This business is about caring for people, for their health, helping people find financial freedom. And we have such an incredible opportunity at our fingertips. So we are sharing this because we care about them, because we truly, truly know the value of what we have. So it's not about selling, ever. It is about sharing what we have. And honestly, if people don't see that value, that's okay. You just move right on, because you know that people need this. And so if they don't see the value in it, that's okay. You can just move right on to the next person. And praying that they come back around and that they see it. But we're not salesmen where we are pushing for sales. Okay? So as you have broken this down, gotten your numbers, you kind of know, okay, end of July, I want to push for gold, or maybe even be really close to senior gold by that point. What I was doing in the beginning was every 2 months, I had on my list a rank advancement. So I knew 1 month I was building. The second month I was going to rank up. Then the next month, building. So that's kind of the plan that I put myself on. Now that requires a lot of sacrifice, a lot of time. We all have different things going on in our lives. Some of us work full-time jobs. Some of us have more time during the day or whatnot. So you are in charge of how fast you go, and that's okay. Some of us may only have 15 minutes a day, and that's fine. But it's about being consistent. So I want you to make the goal that you feel is attainable for you, not for anybody else, because we're all in our own, and we've all got our own commitments. We've all got our own things going on. So what I put for myself may not be right for you, and that's okay. So if you feel that something attainable is going gold in, we've got 3 months going gold, we can get you there. Others of you may feel comfortable getting halfway to gold, and that's okay. But I want you to challenge yourself to think big, shoot for it, and even if we miss it, you're that much closer to it. So we talked a little bit, let me see how we're going to accomplish this. So we got our IPAs going. If you have a handful of ambassadors underneath you, I would say 3 to 5 ambassadors is a good time to start a team page. And the reason I say that is a team page is going to be a foundational place for you to grow as a leader, to establish your own culture and community, because we have incredible uplines all through Plexus, and we are very, very blessed by them. But your people joined you, and so yes, we absolutely can use our uplines, and I think we should. I think we should, because there's a whole nother level of inspiration and wisdom from that. But your people need to see you stepping up and being the leader also. And that's a process. And like I said, for me, it took several months to really decide that I was going to lead my team. And my team page was instrumental in that. Because I had to go out and I had to find content for my team page every single day. I had to find, what am I going to post about? That led to me watching videos and finding inspirational things and just developing myself so that I could then pour out to my team. So you have to be poured into in order to pour out. So that's why I think a team page is essential. And I can promise you that your team page is going to you're going to hear crickets on it for a long time. You're going to feel like you're posting to no one. And that's okay. I want you to be posting frequently on it and learning how to do it. It's a process of learning what works, establishing yourself as their leader, and just really pouring into yourself so that you can pour out. That's really what I think the reason why we start team pages in the beginning. So that foundation, that place is there, so that when your team has grown and grown and grown to people that you don't know, you don't know them personally, they're level 2s, level 3s, that foundation is there already. That team page, you have been active, you've been posting frequently, so it's there. So I'm going to encourage you to do that at some point. There's no magical number when to do it. Some people wait till they're gold, but and some people do it before they're silver. But I would just encourage you to have that on your mind. It's a little scary to do it, but but they're very beneficial. In the midst of that, we run contests on our team page. Not something you have to do, but it's a fun way to get people moving. You can do contests on your own personal Facebook page for, you could give away a 3-day trial, or I've seen a couple where it's like 10 sticks of Slim, and the first 10 who comment get a free thing of Slim. So doing different things like that, getting people moving a little bit, is a fun way. And I'm trying to think, I've got contests. Oh, leadership training. So some of you have 5-6 people on your team, and that I want to encourage you to start getting some leadership training, to start training your people. It's one of the things that I did not do in the beginning, and you can see the downline effects of not having trained my people. Does that make sense? Like, whatever I have done, everybody else is you just follow what your leader does. So if in the beginning you start out leading your team strong, you're going to see strong leaders, and you're going to see them do the same thing. So what I mean by leadership training is getting on the phone, doing maybe walking through the sign-up process with them if possible. If that's not possible, doing a welcome call within the first 48 hours. And I know that I don't want to speak for anybody else, but if you need a third party, I am more than happy to do that. As just say, hey, my sponsor wanted to welcome you, or my upline wanted to welcome you to Plexus, and just get to know one another, because when somebody joins you, they don't know who we are. They don't know who your upline is. They have no clue. And if we are not building connections, we're going to lose people. And that's so important, is to get to know one another and to support one another. So when a new person comes in, we want to integrate them immediately into our community. And sorry, one of my kids is trying to get in. So we want to get people integrated. So that could be a phone call, or it could be a 3-way chat. So this is something that I'm wanting to start really implementing in our team, is when a new person joins, all that sponsor puts them in a chat with the sponsor, the newbie, and then maybe an upline. And just say, hey, we just wanted to welcome you. And the sponsor can kind of give their testimony, or the upline can give their testimony. There's one like this. And so it's just really an important way to build those connections, so that we can start seeing more activity on our team pages, because they feel like a part of the community. Because the worst thing we can do is get a new ambassador and they feel like they're on an island. And that's how we're going to lose people. If we're not taking care of our new ambassadors, we're going to lose them over time. So being mindful of that, and then also just leadership training, really pouring into our leaders, helping them learn how to go through their back office. I remember in the beginning, I don't think I even knew how to do my back office, and so nobody knew how to do their back office, and so we all learned together. But I would encourage you to really intentionally maybe do a Zoom call if they're not local, or get together with coffee with your local people, just checking in on them, answering any questions, helping them go through their back office, that kind of stuff. And then maybe doing one of these Zooms for your own team. I think it's so imperative to do these big wide team events, but then also for you maybe just to get on with 1 or 2 people and talk about whatever you feel necessary. So not being afraid to do that, because your people need to see you as a leader, because even if you have one person on your team, you are their leader. So I really want to empower you in that. Like I said, we are here, all of your uplines, are a fantastic resource, and I want you to use that, but I also want to empower you in your leadership, because that is where you're going to start really seeing, that's where you're going to really start seeing your team's respect and your team's following. I don't want to go to bed. Okay, so I'm going to stop talking, and I want to hear from you guys what you feel